Hey, how's everyone doing? I hope you're doing alright. Today has been kind of a mess. I'm starting a little late today because I managed to completely annihilate my dinner somehow. I'm not like eating healthy today or anything. It was chicken nuggets. Listen, I have them on like a panini press sort of thing, which is what I do with them. I defrost them, I put them on there, leave it. Usually I can just walk away from that for like half an hour, and I did that today, and I came back and they were absolutely charcoal. And it's not like I left them for like 2 hours or something, and I didn't turn the heat up too high. It wouldn't go. It's as high as it goes anyway, and that usually works fine. So apparently the like thermocouple in it went bad, to put it simply. And the coil in the heating coil malfunctioned, and yeah, it's dead now, and I had to recook dinner. And also I smoked out the entire fucking house. So I feel like a huge idiot, and I take a lot of that stuff as like major matters of personal responsibility. If I'd been there, I would have been able to notice, but also I've been doing this for years. It's not that weird, so for it to fail like that, yeah, anyway. I done a big oopsie, and now after that, and I made another dinner for myself. Now I'm back here, and it's like, oh crap, I've got to stream more Crash 4. Oh boy. On the other hand, we got something interesting coming up today, it looks like. Because get a load of that guy. You might recognize him from another one of the Crash Bandicoot games, possibly. If you've played those. And if not, well, then you won't. Also, I realized I forgot to post this anywhere except for Blue Sky, so hang on a second.
Oh, crikey, I'm starved. Wait, is that roadkill pie? Slugging centipede gumbo? Braised potatoes with guacamole? Well now, what have we got here? Either that vile swill Papa Batfield cooks up in his filthy outhouse. Come on down to Dingo's Diner.
Food served at Dingo's Diner may not meet the legal definition of food. Consume at your own risk. Side effects of dining at Dingo's Diner may include fatigue, increased body odor, risk-seeking behavior, thinking too much about your uncle, increased hunger, alienation from friends and family, skin irritation, ennui, leaky orifices, oozing orifices, flowing orifices.
You fucking stay out of my diner.
Remembering that girl from high school, what's she up to? Do you think she's happy? Has profuse volunteer so she's so bad.
Just a sec. Finish this off real quick because I'm slow and I'm bad at everything. Anyway. Alright. The fuck is pass end play? What? Is that supposed to be the, like, sort of co-op mode of this, where it's basically, like, hot seat play through parts of a level? Also, 398 crates in this. I just want to underline this again. What kind of DK64-ass amounts of things are we dealing with here? Also, yes, I forgot to fix the sound lag issue again today. But, again, I feel like it fits the sort of frustrated feel that I have going on here. Okay, so they launch as soon as you let the button go.
Jump on a TNT crate. What am I, the Bandicoot?
Yeah, Dingodile's got a suction cannon now instead of what he usually do, which is more of a flamethrower. Because I just keep... Like, it's sort of muscle memory, right? I've played the old games enough, and I know that at least in Crash 4, Crash 3, and Wrath of Cortex for that matter, there's stuff that you actually do need some of those things for, right? There's parts of the game where it's like, hey, did you get this many... I think it's relics or what the 6th warp room are tied to. In Crash 3, it has been a second. Yeah. And also, it's just like, hey, yeah, get lives, get Wumpa Fruit to get 1-ups, so that way you don't game over. I thought that was going to last longer because it felt like it lasted a lot longer the other time. Oh, did I just... Either way, yeah, it's just like... I'm just sort of used to this idea of like, oh, well, you should do that. So my brain just doesn't want to stop. What? Now, hold on a second. I only pressed at the one... So wait, why am I... What is the deal with the length that the hover is going for? Is it actually not eating up time while I'm... while I'm, like, right above this other dude? I mean, that's interesting, if complete nonsense, but... Okay, so this is doing a thing where it's either I feel like it's either double inputting very easily, or perhaps it's not even double inputting, perhaps as such. Maybe it's just like, oh, well, it assumes if you hold... There we go. It was either that, or I was, in several cases, just also pressing it too late. But yeah, it's that's very unfortunate, because this was already starting off like, oh yeah, this feels pretty cool. I like this so far. And then the game is just like, by the way, here's some absolute jank for... Okay, so how long does this last? Does it last for a shorter time if I'm higher up in the air after I jump? If so, that's really awkward. That TNT crate just ended up under the plank.
Oh, I made all them tablecloths myself.
That's... Is there anything over here? I know I'm doing it again, but listen. I can't stop. Whoa. Okay, yeah, so I guess we probably should actually use the cover for that. Duly noted. Hell of a range on that guy. What? We don't want to be up there. Oh. Oh, shit, shit, shit. Okay, so I think the most universal complaint I can make about the controls, and I don't know if this is like because I'm on a Switch or something, the stick does have a lot of travel, is that it feels like your turning radius for everybody is huge. Like, it's quite severe. Oh, can they break these crates? It seemed like he shot one of the other ones that were further up and didn't break it, but maybe it's supposed to be metal and I couldn't tell the difference between the texture. Yeah, there's an art to this timing the floaty thing that I do not get for like amount of distance. It genuinely seems like if you do this earlier in the jump, you get more floating range, which, I mean, that's certainly an idea. Oh, you can jump off the... I mean, I think I knew that. I just don't like the idea of doing that kind of platforming, because usually enemies tend to die every time you land on their heads. So my brain's just like, oh, well, you're about to make me have to worry if I screw this up. Also, I just always feel like aiming the TNT barrels is not a thing I'm going to do with much precision, although it does seem like you at least vaguely... This is at least a thing that I'll say as a positive about turning, is that it seems like you do at least lock to like 45-degree angles as a general rule. It's getting quite nervous there. I was hoping that I would be able to at least, like, low spin that guy, but no. I probably, if I had stayed a little stiller, I still wouldn't have gotten it. With the low spin, I have noticed that if you start to move after you start a regular low spin, the game will be like, oh, by the way, and you're back to doing the high spin. Which, that's a choice, all right. I guess Bobby Kotick wasn't concerned with getting a real human being... sorry, he wasn't satisfied with just getting a real human being killed, so he had to make sure that he also killed a crashed Bandicoot. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway. Oops. Oh, you can move the right stick to move the camera a little bit. I was curious about that, because this seems like this would be a fun place to, like, hide a secret or something in a weird location, but apparently it seems to just be for a couple of crates. Well, alright. Oh, they drop those. I forgot already. I should have remembered the one that clipped into the boardwalk earlier. Eh, fuck it. Why am I doing this? I'm not here to actually pick things up. Thought we went over that part already. Oh. He's a little too quick on the draw there. I actually am going to have to fight that guy. Fight, I say with very large air quotes. The barrel. So I'm not sure if these bat signs do anything when you break them, but I've just been doing it anyway because it feels like something you should be doing, I guess. Okay, so I'm not sure if I actually need to do that, but I'm doing it anyway. It kind of looks like I don't. But I mean, if they're going to put that thing there, that is going to be a thing I deal with. Whoa. Getting a little densely packed here.
How do you like them wampus?
Hey, 302 out of 398. We still got quite a lot of those considering I wasn't even trying. And Dingodile's getting sucked through the void here. Well. Alright, buddy. Maybe we'll be seeing more of you at some point. Oh, I guess he does have a chance of running into us, I guess. Running Bayou. These pun names are very silly. I'm glad. Ooh, alright. Yeah, we didn't even get all those. That's pretty sad. But hey, countdown, that's an interesting mechanic. If they're adding some more stuff. I mean, we sort of already had that with the roulette crates, which for those of you who don't... Oh. Okay, I can see the little, like, cogwheel base on that. Wow, I managed to miss 3 of those in a row by getting there at, like, the exact moment that I was supposed to hit those crates, and I must have been, like, frames short 3 times in a row. That's incredible. That's where the true talent lies, I guess, is that instead of failing completely, you just barely, and with a great consistency. I mean, yes, obviously I'm malding a little bit, but I just find it incredibly funny. I gotta get something out of this deal, you know? This game... Not yet. I still haven't, like, figured out what I'm gonna... Controller, are you eating my A button inputs? And by A button, I mean B button, because... You know. This bonus room sucks. We don't even need to do these. I just wanted to show it off for purposes of being like, hey, here's more content, I say, as if I'm going to even bother to do some of the other content, like the reverse, the inverted levels. That's what they're called. You know, considering those dudes don't, like, drop those bombs anywhere, I think maybe I thought I was safe. Ugh. Alright, what's good timing to get out of there? Fuck! Ah! I've had enough problems with stopping at this point that I really don't feel like this sort of thing is something I can get along with, because I feel like whenever I hit a platform, I've got to pause to make sure that I'm definitely on it. So this is causing a bit of a problem, because now it's like, oh hey, you've got to play a little bit tighter. On the other hand, these bits are not too bad so far. The jet board. Like, yeah, you turn like mad, but it feels like an upgrade to the Crash 2 one. Not a huge upgrade, but it feels like the Crash 2 one, but better. Better-ish. Also, part of that is probably because I can actually hold the boost button and just be like, well, here we go. I suppose it helps that I'm able to escape these whirlpools. That probably also contributes to my feelings of like, oh, hey, this is good, actually, is the fact that you can just boost out of those whirlpools. And see, me, that's not that hard. Come on. Oh, hey. I just left some stairs. I mean, if we're being honest, they kind of do, but I think that's down more to my equipment than anything. With an asterisk of like, oh. With an asterisk that like, again. Oh, see, now we're getting the fast turn, but I think that's probably that I wasn't doing full circles with my stick either, so. Like, I also just don't have a whole lot of confidence when I do any of these, so. Okay, good. Remember that you can land on the TNT crates. Ah! How did you not get through that other one, Crash? What are you doing? Did somebody take away all your shockwaves so that way they could give them to, Armadillo or something? I don't know. Spins. Do. Yeah, like. See what I mean about the short spin and it turns into the tall spin when you start moving? That I dislike immensely. That's just kind of an awful design idea. Oh, whoops. No, that was that didn't look like I could duck it for a second. That's my fault. Probably. And by that I mean it's still kind of the game's fault for this entire side-scrolling section. Hey, I can barely see that shadow ring. I'm looking for it. It's there, but it's more of a technical matter than an actual. The other thing is that the death counter. So, I understand why the death counter is there. It does have its place in things, but it is significantly more demoralizing, I feel, than lives. Especially in a game series where usually lives are quite plentiful. Like, I don't think I game overed in, at least in Crash 3, until after I had beaten the game and been reset to base lives. Just because it's easy enough to get a decent chunk of them in the first place. That was foolish of me. But in this game, it's like, well... Ah, shit. I'm trying to factor out how to get through that other than just have the Aku Aku that you tend to lose because of the positioning of those nitro crates. Like, if you have the lives counter, it's harder to think about sometimes how badly you've done just because you have to go through all of the refactoring of like, okay, how many lives did I start with? How many have I gained? How many have I lost? Kind of thing. Meanwhile, the death counter is just there and raw. It's like, this is how many times you fucked up on this incredibly basic platforming challenge in a game for babies. But also, these are some incredibly hostile placements of these TNT crates in this section, and the nitro crates in particular as well. That's beyond mean-spirited. The overall design ethos of the game feels a little bit like, okay, well, you should know how these games play already because you've played all the other games in the series, right? Right? But I think that's bad, actually, as a design ethic. That's like, it's what you would call not good. So what you end up with in some situations is, and I'm definitely intentionally being overdramatic here by saying that it feels like I want to be the Bandicoot at times. Oh, hey, fake Crash. But also, like, this feels harder than Crash 1 a lot of the time. And that's saying something because Crash 1 is a game that's infamous for its difficulty. Realistically, I think most of that comes from the saving system in Crash 1 being tied to getting all the boxes in a level. As opposed to later games where they're like, oh yeah, that just gets you a collectible that you may or may not need. You would certainly like it because then you can be like, hey, look at me, I completed 100% of the game. But you don't need it. Oh, hey, fake Crash. Wow, look at all the fan service in this game. Also, I feel like the Dingodile level was the first one that didn't have any rail grinding in it. Well, I guess... Oh, now I don't remember if any of the like, Tawna or anything. The ones where you don't play as Crash, if they don't have rails, I forgot already since yesterday. But they are, like, everywhere. And now that I think about it, dear God, every level in this game so far, except for the ones where you don't play as the title character, has had what is essentially tantamount to a motherfucking auto-scroll section. At least with this, you can sort of, like, do some speed control because you can boost or not boost as you wish or as the situation requires. Why did those other ramps fall over? There was no reason for that. What, was I like 1 degree off from the acceptable angle? I'm expecting one of these Wumpa Fruits to kill me because right now this feels like I want to be the Bandicoot. Bah! Fuck! But I have to boost to take the... Well, I guess I could just, like... Because... There's nothing behind those. I could just take those slow, right? Ah! Don't! Oh, these controls. Ugh. I'd rather play this with Ape Escape controls, man. And not that Ape Escape controls are necessarily bad, but they are hard as balls to get used to. Ah! Okay, yeah, so just hitting the brakes or not hitting the gas, as it were, seemed to be the answer there, but... Whew, that part was rough. That's right, give me my nothing. At least give me, like, a crystal to pick up, so that way I feel like I'm... That way I feel like I have to do something.
What time is it? Oh, goodness. I ought to know. Crush! Coco! Come on, give old Capuna a kiss, eh? Don't look at me like I broke wind at a wedding. I'm time. I see everything. And I mean everything. There's some very unexpected developments in your future. Your very near future. Shocking events that will change the course of your life.
Yeah, just gonna stop you there before you tell us how we all die.
Well, if you'd rather not know about the giant mask-eating monster from beyond the stars, that is your choice.
Oh, boy, there's, like, maybe a little too much quirk in some of these dialogues, especially from the quantum masks.
Right then. Need a hand.
Bring back, what's his name? Any of them, really. I guess Entropy. He's, like, actually serious, but... Here we go. We got a ice level, so I'm sure this is gonna be an absolute laugher. Snow Way Out. Yeah, I guess they kind of used the good joke by calling one of the levels Snow Job earlier in the series.
Crash Bandicoot, you banished me to the past, but all it did was give me more time to plan your doom. You'll find me up the mountain. Don't freeze on the way.
Well, you know, I'm sensing a real fraught history here. How many times have you beaten this clown anyway? 3. Really? Only 3? Funny. Seemed like more.
Get it? There's a bunch of other games that we didn't remake because people didn't like them as much. Okay, once again, it's a toggle, not a hold. Can I change that in the menu? Change button mapping? I mean, that's not really... Okay, so I'm going to assume the answer is no. Yeah, no, I can't do that. So, that's the thing, alright. Ah! That doesn't last very long. What was that icon that was back there? Oh, that just looked very pixely. That's... Press those buttons at the same time. Ugh! Okay, so just touching a swordfish kills us, apparently. I mean, as usual, but still. It is a little silly. What, are you afraid of getting damp from it being a fresh catch, Crash? Whoa! That was a mass... One overjump. That happened. Don't... Do I still have the mask? I sure do. Okay, so I can just do this. Yeah, that's about the long and short of what's going on with this game. Is just lots and lots of me dying because this game is quite hard. I would say this is significantly harder than the 3 games that preceded it, with the big loud asterisk of it's been more than that. They just have chosen to retcon them. Plus they have like all of these extra gimmicks on top of everything else. Like at this point I'm thinking just bring back the get a gem to save your game thing from Crash 1, right? And all these levels take an eternity. On top of that, I can definitely tell that the physics are a little bit different at bare minimum when compared to the Insane trilogy. Things just feel a little off. Which, I mean, if you want me to be like, hey, yeah, you've got to be these are for people who have mastered the original, the previous releases. Well, then, why did you change the physics? Why not leave it the same so that way I can actually build off of my... Well, I played those 3 years ago, so I'm kind of stretching if I'm pretending that it's me, but anyway, it's fine. It's fine. We're in the middle of a set piece from Mega Man 11 right now. Anybody remember Mega Man 11? Anybody remember how the double gear system was, like, not good? I think I streamed that game, like, 5 years ago or something. Anyway, Mega Man 11 was an okay game, but the double gear system was not related to Y. At all. Also, it's nice to see them putting the tapes this deep into levels now, because you have to get here without dying to get there. So, I mean, I guess maybe if I, like, actually practice at this some, I could pull off more of these, but why would I do that? As I continue to massively overjump in what are very easy jumps, really. Get over there. Oh, God. Crash, can you, like, acquire some friction? It's perhaps a little too easy to overjump things with single jumps in this game. That penguin is from somewhere else in the series, I'm pretty sure. That, like, kind of whatever kind of penguin it is. The yellow hair. The blonde penguin. God, this is really reminding me of the ice stage of of Mega Man 11, and there were just massive, wide open swaths of nothing, if I recall correctly, in some parts of it. It was like Mighty Number 9 stage design, really. Also, by the way, shoutouts to this level design with a checkpoint that's like 30 seconds away from where we just started. This is... yeah, I didn't have the timing on that guy. That's fine. But that might be a... When you're doing that, that might be a sign to reel it in a little bit. Also, they should really let me, like, re-up the mask power a little bit faster after I shut it off, if I shut it off manually. Why couldn't I get up there? Now I don't know what the game wants from me, actually. Okay, so it's just ignore that stone entirely. I get you. Ah! Oh, we almost didn't get that. Anyway, hey, are you guys ready for more of the exact same level design, except this time it's at a different camera angle? Wow! Thanks, Crash 4! Ah! And now you've got these crumbling platforms in the mix, so that's good. I'm glad that now I get to wait on a falling rock while those are in effect. Because I really need something else to make me anxious in this game, right? And apparently by that point the ice is below the kill plane. Oh yeah, that I pressed that way too late. That one is my fault, but like see, I feel like also that there's been this overall thing with a lot of genres of games, not just platformers, but you know, a lot of other things is like, hey, I admit fault all the fucking time, all right? I ain't here for that part of it, okay? Like, don't. Do not. Anyway, I feel like I've noticed something in a lot of game design where it almost feels like, and truth be told, this game isn't really doing it, but at least not directly. I don't know what the timing on this one is whatsoever. Probably because I keep getting caught up on the panic involved with any of this shit. And the ice cubes being below the kill plane that I can't see because that's normal anyway, but yeah, so I feel like as games are like doing away with lives, just developers in general have seen fit to be like, very, very, how do I put this? They've looked at that and they've been like, okay, so we have to punish the player for dying somehow. Because apparently lost progress doesn't count, right? Like, and while I don't want to necessarily say it because it does verge a little bit close to being like, oh yeah, you know, the thing that we were making fun of yesterday among game journalists who don't actually have examples of anything anymore. Do those not regenerate? This is a little too long of a string, really, for this sort of thing. In my opinion, as somebody who doesn't actually know what they're doing, and, you know, hasn't played any of the best games in the genre, hasn't designed games of their own, was literally born yesterday, but we got through it. Now would be a good time for the super fast checkpoint, but I guess the game doesn't want to. Never mind. Spoke too soon. That one's on me. Ah, yes, this is a great place for Aku Aku invincibility, where it doesn't matter. And how wide is that gap? That's... I'm not sure what I'm being asked to do here. Other than I'm being asked to deal with all this on a scrolling platforms section that this... I do not like this. Anyway, what I was trying to get at before I was so rudely interrupted by game design decisions is that the sort of thing that I am describing, I feel kind of begins very much somewhere in the Dark Souls franchise, right? Because that's a game where you die and instead of losing a life, they take something away from you. And then you get all the other games like Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight, all these others that do similar things to you that admittedly I can't think of a good one offhand other than those two, but those two did do it. And I feel like, again, lost progress is its own punishment. It can just be that. Otherwise, you've kind of made this more expensive in some way. Like, if we want to say that there's no value to getting forward or to one's time if they're playing video games, which would be a strange thing to argue if you were a game developer, but I digress, then it's actually more painful than losing a life. Anyway, this game doesn't actually do that. It just has, like, really disgustingly hard level design. Hooray, we're finally done with this level. That was quite irritating in many parts. Also, probably a little bit too much use of the same exact gimmick in the same exact way. Like, what, did we go through 3, 4 falling ice chunk sections in that level? I feel like there's an issue with that in this game, that, like, there's probably a few too many... How the hell did I get that flashback tape? There's probably a few too many instances of levels where it's just like, okay, we're gonna do something and it's basically just the same thing several times. Okay, fine, have the introduction version to show me how the mechanic works, because that's how an inline tutorial should work. And oh fine, have the hard version at the end. But I feel like there's maybe a few too many times this is being repeated, but also this kind of just loops into my whole issue of this game, all the levels are too long and there's too much stuff in them. Like, have we not learned our lesson that collectathon platformers are not inherently good? Did we not figure that out when Yooka-Laylee came out? And nobody liked it, even though it was exactly what people wanted out of it. And yet somehow, Platonic or whatever their name is. I think it's Platonic. Made a sequel to it, and it's a 2D game apparently made to be a little bit more like Donkey Kong Country. I haven't played it because, well, why would I trust after the first one, you know? Also, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the amount of... Oh, good, it's the same mechanic over again. Of the same environment several times in a row. Like, just as a choice of how these things flow, because, again, we're gonna compare it to Crash 2 and Crash 3, right? Because they're trying to ape the... Oh, those crumble. Whoops. They're trying to ape the original trilogy... And Crash 2 and Crash 3 are the later ones, so people would remember it a little better. That they mix up what kind of things you got in each warp room. So that way you'd have a little bit of variety. Meanwhile, here we are in the middle of a string of ice levels. And I can't do anything else. You know, it's not like, oh, well, this is really annoying me. I'm going to go do one of the other levels that are in this warp room that will have different mechanics that are not awful. Hopefully. At least by comparison. And so instead we have Crash 1 style progression for reasons that I'm not really confident in. Cold take on the... I mean, I would hope so, because I'm correct. Hi, Credence. How you doing? I'll be assertive about that, if not where I aim when I'm platforming, because goodness knows, I really don't feel like... Again, even with... They gave you a thing to help locate where you are on the ground. Oops. Over a platform, and yet I still feel like I have no confidence in where I'm going to land. And a big part of that is mostly due to ground physics, actually, because, you know, once you land on a platform, you don't stop doing stuff there, right? You're gonna have to actually put that to some use sooner or later. You're going to have to get off of it, and you may have to turn around for that. So you land on the edge, and that's rather dangerous for you. Oh, hey, a wrong button to activate. That's right, it's the X button if I want face buttons, but I should just hit the ZR. Ah! I double tapped that because I thought my cooldown was going to be longer, and then it wasn't. So, thanks a lot, game. Ah! And somehow we got hit. I mean, alright. But I didn't quite see how. Okay, so there's a branching path here. That's interesting. I was not trying to angle over that far, obviously. I wanted to just try to jump more towards the middle. Oh, hey, look! It's another rail section! And I pressed the wrong button, but... like, these rail sections have gone from being fairly fun because of being, like, good implementations of the mechanics to just being kind of, like, annoying because it's the same thing in every level. I hit that far too late. And by every level, I mean, good lord, we've had these in so many of Crash's levels. And really, it's kind of just an auto-scroller. You know, that thing that nobody likes. Well, now that I know that those actually will hit you in certain circumstances... I did it again. It's because I stopped to scratch my face and my brain switched off, apparently. I'm sorry, I'm not in a great state of mind in general right now, so, like, I'm playing even worse than usual. I probably should be doing significantly better at this, because, like, I know kind of how to play the game. Sometimes. Fuck. Good, okay. Oh, I thought I jumped in that spike for sure. Fuck! So, there isn't actually a control delay there, but sometimes it feels like there is, which is what makes it even weirder when it's just like, hey, actually, this thing that you think is predictable, that you're also hallucinating because, of course you are. As it turns out... okay, so... disregard the entire subject there. I feel like we should rewind the tape on that one a little bit because it was tight, but I definitely cleared under that, so... and that was significantly less tight. By all rights, I should have gotten through that. Like, you go back, you look at the visual, you pause and you find the frame, which might be a pain in the ass, so, I mean, don't waste the effort because... like... that's a... is it, like, open or closed? And that's the issue here? 4 times I've done that! 4 fucking times! that I've been in a position where I've died, even though that door was not touching me. So clearly, the hitbox in those doors is a little bit bigger than the actual door. This game came out in 2020! And right now, these fucking doors are feeling like more of a plague than COVID was. This might be the moment that gets me to stop playing because, like... Okay, yes, there's absolutely times where it's just like, it's me fucking up and I'm not getting things right, but... I can't take the heat for all of these when Crash is getting killed by a door that he is able to get under without having to do anything there. Like, okay, if the timer wants to wear out and I get my head cut off by the door or something, then sure, but like, show all of that? So that way I can be like, okay, yeah, that's fair. It sucks, but it's fair. But those deaths, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. I need to make clear. The ones that I'm ranting and raving about are very clearly not fair. Okay, I don't know what the timing is for this one because it's got to be real early, right? Because that door is going to be stuck shut when I hit it. And once again, I'm just absolutely butt fingers at that one area. I meant to say butter fingers, but listen, I don't think I'm that. Let me not get too high off my own supply here, because I'm not that good to deserve an anywhere in the title. Alright, finally we got through it, and I deserve that checkpoint. If that's a pity checkpoint, I'm gonna find whoever designed this, and I'm gonna give them the biggest swirly. It's alright, it's an Activision title, so, like... Bobby Kotick is involved already, so... Not for nothing, but that's almost its own punishment. Even though this area is quite straightforward, the way this is set up, and I think part of it is just because they had that Aku Aku in a completely weird, out-of-the-way place, feels like a thing... Excuse me, it felt like I had no idea where I was going for a minute there. Also, hey, how do you guys like more of the exact same mechanics? Like, I'm pretty sure we had literally that puzzle in a previous level. And this shark has been doing some serious cocaine. Oosh. Must be a Wall Street executive. Hey-oh. Oh, come on. Yeah, see, some of this is kind of my point about padding. Like, skip to this part. We already did the earlier ones, and this is like a real puzzle. Well, puzzle is a bit of a stretch because it's not really that complicated to figure out what you have to do here. When all you have is a hammer, everything looks like your thumb. Especially that conspicuously thumb-shaped chunk of ice that's sliding down the river at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Look out, set way the shark doesn't bite you in the sack. Crash. Also, I haven't really thought about it until now, but while Matt crashes in the mask suit, our skin disappeared that we were using. So, good job there, whichever team from Activision programmed this. Those chunks count as part of the scenery, I guess. Which is weird because it actually looks like it's got layers, but I mean, I guess you kind of can go back and forth in the quote-unquote 2D sections, which are really just side-scrolling. It's not actual 2D, but still, listen, it bothers me. Oops. That one's on me. Well, now that we've got the pity checkpoint, I can't even make the jump. Good. What am I doing? I forgot to turn on my speed gear. Yeah, for some reason the timing on that feels like it's changed. Or maybe the timings on certain things are determined by when you get there. That's always a possibility. And it was a matter of me getting there at a different time that time or something. Thank you, Pity Aku Aku. God, I think the cooldown for when you can snap that on after it runs out naturally is shorter. But also it tends to lead to me mashing for it, and that's not a smart thing. Anyway, that level sucked completely. Again with all these gimmicks. Bears repeating. Ah, yes, I do enjoy a pun on bears that repeat. Well, I thought for a second that that dude was about to crash right into that TNT box and blow it up. At this point, it's the kind of design that I would expect out of this game, you know? Wow. Oops. And see, that's another weird case, because I thought I was squarely on that box. And I was not. At bare minimum, it was a harmless one, but still, it's like, ugh. I love getting attacked by killer skiers. Oh, no. I was going to say, oh, now you're not rotating, but no, it was a different one that did that. That makes me a little sad. I thought for a second... Oh, hey, I saw Crash's shoes clipping into the ice there. That's weird. Oh, game, you're funny. Whoops. Where are we? Okay, so it's just at the beginning of the section of all rotating scales. All right. Drop. There we go. Oh, hey, is that a yellow gem platform? Is that what that's supposed to... Oh, it's like faded out instead of wireframed. Ew. I like the wireframe effect. I don't remember what it looks like in Insane Trilogy, so I can't be like, oh, is that like just the new normal or something? But I remember it being all wireframey on the PS1 when it was in those games, cause yeah. Ah, yes. Wonderful. I love playing part of a previous level in the middle of this level. Fuck. Oh. Wait a minute. I'd say that... I forgot about that, but there wasn't really much of a that there in the first place. Get that guy out of here. Well, I guess at bare minimum, I can't say that it's entirely just a mechanic from the previous part of the stage. Wait a second. So... Alright. Well, we fucked that up, but at least we didn't die. Okay, no, it's a three platform. I had forgotten about one of them somehow. That reflects very well on my brain usage today. Okay, I'm gonna have to actually... find out that that's the wrong path. Yeah, because I see the Wumpa fruits that... That scale didn't feel like it slowed down very much in slow time. No, but if they're asking me to go over to that side and then go back across, because I think I would need to have the height, then that is an interesting level design idea, but also, what the fuck do you mean that happened there, game? So, I mean, I guess I spoke too soon about being like, oh yeah, it's the same thing over again, but I mean, at this point, hopefully it's kind of understandable why I would say that, because they've done this exact puzzle, like, a lot. That's how many times they've done it, a lot. I don't even remember how many times it's been, because it's been that many. But, where was my double I usually have a double jump when I do that, right? I can't believe this slowdown time effect is not strong enough here. Like, the timing on this one jump, at least it's, like, comparatively safe, but fuck. Not that part. I'm really starting to feel like they want you to be in the air when you press the mask button, which, you know, is a little bit on the you're being quite silly kind of scale there, because that's... Yeah, see, I don't need this checkpoint game. This is actually, like, a very bad pity checkpoint. It should be over here, on this side of things. Huh. Okay, you cannot seriously be asking me to... Oh, that's actually cool. Never mind. That's delightful. That is a good use of the mechanics. I actually admire that a little bit. That is some creative level design. And see, that's... That's why I can't just be like, oh yeah, this game isn't very good. Off we go. Oh. Unfortunately, when you're on a polar bear, you have no defense. And you just die to trees. Don't worry about any of the collectibles, you fool. Oops. I gotta imagine getting all the, like, the all box gem here at the, especially if you're going for it at the same time that you're going for the low deaths gem, is an absolute nightmare, because some of these placements are awful. They probably also put, like, all the good crates for the relics for the time trials in these terrible positions. So doing that, I mean, I gotta think that the time trials in this game already kind of suck, because just by virtue of the fact that these levels are like years long. Did I fail to hit the checkpoint? Was there a checkpoint there? There was a checkpoint there that I failed. Which, oh boy, a checkpoint on the back of an animal as opposed to just between sections. Ugh. So I died a hell of a lot less in that level than I have in most levels recently, and that has nothing to do with the fact that I think a lot of the level design here was actually kind of rad. There were some very smart puzzles involved here with bears repeating. I just am very bad at the game also, so like kind of counterbalances itself. I also feel like it did not overstay its welcome that much, which is another point because, yeah, some of these levels can be way padded, as if I haven't made that clear yet. Here we go, it's boss time against Cortex, called Fourth Time's the Charm. I have a feeling that because this is only the third boss, we are nowhere near done.
Crash Bandicoot. It's about time.
Wow, roll credits, everybody.
Except this time, everything will go according to my plan. I've made a few upgrades to my blimp. Rain of giant deadly missiles.
It still counts as a blimp. I was out of position.
Punchbot Mark II, deploy! Fun fact, Punchbot Mark II is one better at punching than Punchbot Mark I. Ow! Punchbot Mark II is for punching you, not me! Let's try this one.
Ah, yes, I remember these mechanics from earlier in the game. So, I would guess that the idea is supposed to be that, like, this is being styled up like a final exam boss style thing, right? Just for very early on, because you're supposed to go, oh, yeah, Dr. Cortex, obviously, he's the main villain of the franchise. Surely this is going to be the final boss of the game, right? Even though it's very pointedly not, because we've forgotten about Dr. Entropy. And he may be a mercenary, but he is still also kind of a dick. So, like, he's not suddenly gonna, you know, disappear entirely and become a hero for that matter. Ah! Ooh, crud. Ah, spadoinkle. Anyway, you guys remember Mega Man 11? I know I've made this joke earlier, but I feel like it bears repeating. Which is funny because of the name of the last level we were just in. See, I could write for this game. Wait. I mean, I probably could, but would I want to? That's the real question here. Well, he's turning up the heat. What do you got? You gonna start doing the...
Did I do that?
Shrinking the arena.
Crush the Bandicoot, smash in its head.
Nice voice crack there.
I wonder what happens if I hit all the buttons at once.
Feel the wrath of Cortex.
He said it. Roll credits. Wait. Oh. Hold on. Did I get hurt by... Is that made the electric effect? What am I supposed to do with the red things? Because it looks like dodging under them doesn't work. Do they fade out early? I'm not getting electrocuted by the missiles, right? That would be stupid! Even by Cortex's standards. Yeah, no, it definitely seems like the... You know what? Let me get hit by a missile and make sure, because at this point... Okay, I think the missiles do actually electrocute you, so... But wait, no, the red rings of death get out of position with each other, right? Okay, no, but that produced red sparks. The missile definitely creates like a purple... What do you want me to do? I do not get it, game. I'm, like, confused now. This is... Yeah, obviously jumping into them will kill you, because, yeah. But if you die going under them also, then, like... What am I supposed to do about the fact that there doesn't appear to be any sort of retreat there? I don't get it. I do not get it. I am completely befuddled. Like, now we're getting into... I don't know what I can do, not just like, oh, I'm bad at this, which... I can't... Okay, I can't go all the way back there, which is what I thought, but... I'm seriously considering just looking this up because, like, this doesn't make sense otherwise. I cannot conceive of what you're supposed to do with the red things. Can you, like, attack them? That would be really stupid because it's big frothing columns of electricity. It also helps if I press the button properly, but, like, screw it. At this point, I'm actually going to try it. Yeah, obviously that doesn't work. I didn't think so. I'm going to go look this up. All right, time to be disappointed by game FAQs, as one usually does for any recent game. The fuck do you mean there's no... This is all like Q&A, no guide. Like, what? Why? Okay, good. It didn't tell me how to do that. Good. I checked a couple of things. Now I'm going to have to go look this up as a video, because, like... Well, I literally just did try a Wikia, and it didn't say. So that's fun. Now I get to go look up someone on YouTube doing this. Theme. Yeah, that's the wrong one. All right, come on, load better. Right, click mute tab and. All right, okay. Person who I can already see has an intro for some reason. Buddy, you're just posting video game guides on the internet. That's way too far forward. All right. Oh, okay, so it's slide under it. Yeah, sure. It doesn't look like that at all, that you would get that much reduced height from it. But, okay. Sure, I guess. I wouldn't think to do that. That middle section was, like, weirdly harder than that. That wouldn't be so hard if I had been able to figure out what the mechanics were there.
Must we keep going around and around like this? Tell me, Crash, is this all there is? Forever? No.
Crash Bandicoot doesn't know anything.
Gloat all you want. I quit. If you need me, I'll be on a tropical island somewhere. Alone.
How fortunate. You see, I no longer have needs for our alliance. I found a new partner and a new plan.
You were scheming behind my back?
Of course. The Rift Generator has capabilities beyond your eager imagination. You were content to simply rule over space and time, but I'd rather start from scratch. Erase it all. Wipe the slate clean. I'm going to reset the timeline and rebuild it to my liking. I will become a god, which means you won't exist. And neither will those feather-brained masks or those meddling marsupials.
It's a lot of work.
Existence by that pompous peacock? I'd like to see him try after I shove that tuning fork up his...
But not if we get to him first.
It appears we have a common enemy. Perhaps there's a way out of our endless cycle after all.
As in fiction in general, time travel in Crash 4 takes a while to catch up to reality. It's just like in Chrono Cross with the Time Devourer. And it makes just as much sense. But hey, the difference is that this is a platformer. It's not trying to be very story intensive. BCB, is that before Crash Bandicoot? Is that what they're going for here? Sonic Generations. I don't remember the story of Sonic Generations. I actually haven't played Sonic Generations, so come to think of it. I probably have it on something, so I can play it. See, now this is significantly more reminiscent of settings from Crash 2, which feels a bit more like what the difficulty of this game is aiming for most of the time. And then... Are you sure about that game? Well, alright, you're the boss. I think you're full of shit, but you're the boss. Ah, yes, here's our requisite, everybody. What, did you think a Crash 4 level would go by without... That's a very sturdy Venus flytrap. I wouldn't expect that to be an instant death collision. Like, that feels like something that you should be able to just plow through if you have a mask. Well, yeah, but I think people are only paying attention to the parts of Sonic 06 that they don't like. Okay, so... oh yeah, that box is like right underneath it. That should be a pretty obvious indicator that jumping over that would be more trouble than it's worth, to put it mildly. Oh. It makes sense that you can't hang out that long, but... when I say it makes sense, I mean not in the sense of, like, platformer mechanics. I mean that in the sense of, like, realism. Which, of all games to be thinking about that in, Crash Bandicoot is not very high up there. Right, like, again, if it wasn't a game where we're playing as a marsupial enhanced by mad science... God, you really can't hang out there very long. This is the first time I've had to worry about this, and they're definitely throwing us off the deep end a little bit. They've said, yeah, you've beaten 3 bosses. It's like however many levels deep it is now. I haven't kept count. When we're introducing a new mechanic, we can take the kid gloves off right away. And I mean, technically this mechanic existed before, but you never had to do it except to pick up crates. Now you have to do it to not die. And that's different. Ah, what am I doing? I'm not having depth perception. That's what I'm doing. Okay, now that we've managed to stop being bad at that. God, there's a lot of noises going on around here. And I can't tell if they are like a warning sign that something is... well, that was... Did that yeah, okay, I can see. It's not suspended by anything. I wasn't paying attention at the time. And there's another crumbly platform before, but we just skipped over that by going so fast, so, wow. I don't agree, game, but you're the boss. Although, on the other hand, expecting me to get any of the stupid crap that I'm trying to pull perfect in the long term is a bit on the silly side. Although, otherwise, that section, perfectly fine. Nice bit of just raw platforming. Alright, so is that... Whoa! That didn't feel good. Those were bouncing me around a little bit too, in too many directions. Huh? Okay. It's alright, we had a bunch of those Aku Akus at this point, so it's fine. I'm making a noise. It sounds like somebody trying to do an impression of The Mask, but from a really bad early 2010s YouTube video. Okay, yeah, that positioning on that object is messing with me a little bit. I mean, also the fact that I just don't have, like, any depth perception. What's back there? Is that a... Was that a hidden gem that's back there? That's pretty nasty, and oops. Yeah, and it's not like I'm going for 100%, but, like, that's still kind of mean. Oh god, yeah, the get in, get off for that to get to that gem, that is insanely tight. Like, you have to be a hell of a lot more skilled than I am to pull that one off. Yes, 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 I've made several jokes at this point that could... Never mind, we did it. There was no reason for me to go for that because, again, I'm doing that, like, way to where... I gotta remember, it doesn't last anyway. Now, my question is, do I keep the hidden gem after I die? It looks like I do. Unfortunately, I was too busy focusing on whether or not the thing was there that I died again in a very stupid way. Well, yes, we would still have to beat the level, but we're getting there. That'll happen on its own eventually, right? That's... It's just gonna take me a minute, because, well... I was gonna say, every level in this game is disgustingly long, but that one was actually quite short. I could probably have done that, like, so much better once I actually got, like, a real grasp on the rail stuff. Again, what is with all of these rail segments in these games, though? Like, nah. And by these games, I mean this game only, but... Fossil-fueled. Nice. Well, it's Cortex time. We get to play as him, because... I guess we have to team up so that way he can take over the plot, because that's probably what's going to happen.
Let's see how these prehistoric predators like my blaster's new settings.
Alright, so that's what happens when I press the circle button, the A button here. That's our square button, Y button, jump obviously. Okay, so we can ZR to shoot. That's good. Pressing ZR to shoot. That will oh. It's a much bigger blast radius on that than I remember, but my memory is not good, so. I was gonna say, what if it just, like, always blows you up if you shoot a nitro?
They laughed when I added blockification. Well, who's laughing now? Me.
Interesting, I think. Alright, so it was just telling me about the air dash. Okay, we can shoot nitro and not immediately die every time. But that is a plant with a shockingly quick draw. Ooh. Wait, why? Okay, so I see. I got you now. They don't really give you that information in the tutorial. I mean, I guess you can just find it out by accident, but... These tongue plants are really creepy. Like, that movement is, it's an interesting choice, is what I'll say. I still haven't, like, set up any of the sound stuff, obviously. I need to look into what people do for the, like, video clips. Because I mean, that could be a fun thing that we just, like... Right. The air dash is on that button. So... That kind of makes Cortex a character who's a bit unique compared to all the other double jumpers. Because he doesn't have the double jump on the same button. That is slightly clunky. From like a fairly basic perspective, I think that might not necessarily be the best choice control-wise. Well. However, I do generally like his gameplay. I mean, in the forward-backward sections, there are problems with aiming. Because it feels like you just end up doing it at an angle a little bit more easily. But aside from that... Yeah, like these parts.
I've never tried a volcano lair. Do good guys have volcano lairs? Much to learn.
I am enjoying... Oh. Cortex's ghost turns into a little devil to match Crash's little angel. That's good. Anyway, I gotta say that, like, while I've had some occasional criticisms of some of the script here and there in Crash 4, like just the fact that characters at times have a little bit too much quirk going on, I appreciate the fact that they're having fun. And Cortex is, as ever, and by as ever, I mean ever since the reboot, brilliantly overacted by Lex Lang.
On second thought, no volcano lair. I can feel my nostril hairs sizzling.
You know, usually he's brilliantly overacted by other people like Clancy Brown, but this time they didn't want to shell out for Clancy Brown, I guess. Or I don't know, maybe they upset him by calling Raiden Raiden or something, and like, I don't know. Either way, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying Cortex a lot. He's kind of a high point character-wise for this so far. At least until he says Cloaca or something, but, you know, that's a whole other story, right?
Haven't seen mushrooms that big since I left the Gigantizotron running overnight.
Oh. I didn't see the ground. Common problem. Okay. Yeah, I put those too far out, so let's do that a little bit more smartly this time. Oh, I was thinking of a part further in the level. God, I have no idea where anything is. As usual, but for different reasons this time. Oh yeah, you gotta double that one. Yeah. Right. Now I remember. Because I honestly kind of forgot the mechanic a little bit at the time. Woohoo! Well, gee, Mr. Cortex, you get some pretty stupid air sometimes. I'm kind of impressed what he can do with that gigantic, considering this gigantic melon. Yeah, again, not a short level, but not a bad one. I think it's just that Cortex's mechanics are really good. So far, at least. I'm sure that if I started playing the side routes, I'd get really annoyed with some of what they do, but if you think I'm doing that, well, not a chance. This level is called Dino Dash, which is immediately making me think of, once again, the level Boneyard from Crash 3, and also the other one that was in the third warp room? Yeah, I think it was third warp room, which of course was called Dynamite! References that are now extremely aged. Unfortunately, we're back to playing as Crash. Show's over, everybody, go home. Yikes. I can't lie, I feel... I should have just waited to see where those guys were going, but I feel like there are a lot more instances of things in this game that are based around falling platforms compared to other Crash games. And I'm not necessarily sure if that's correct or anything, or if anybody wants to say, oh, you're full of shit and you're just imagining things or whatever, but it certainly feels that way. Like, it just feels like there have been so many of them in this game. And it's not like it's a thing that is new to the Crash repertoire or anything. They've existed in previous Crash games. But this just feels like a lot. Oh, good. There's an acid spitter in the same location as that thing. That's what I need to see. Time for us to go back in time to a mechanic that we've seen before. Okay, well, that's a terrifying perspective. Yeah, that'll be why. Maybe you don't need to do that camera turn before the checkpoint, though. But yeah, here we go. Here is another chase sequence. It's been a minute since we've had one of these. Ah, get out of the... Oh god, it's like that one level in Crash 2, except not quite. You know, the one with the landmines, right? And the boulder. The boulder that, by the way, not many people know this, is equally as sentient as that dinosaur was. And absolutely just wanted to kill Crash for no good reason. Yeah, no, that rock is just kind of an asshole. Yes, platforming is starting to make me make weird noises again. Yes. That's what we don't pay any money whatsoever to see, because you don't have to. Because that would be really, really silly. Imagine doing a subscribers only stream. Like, okay, subs only chat, I get air quotes. I understand some form of security. I don't know if subs only specifically, but... Oop. Yeah, no, that one's my fault. I should... Well, I'd say I should know that by now, but I've only really gotten there a couple times. Oh, that was dangerous what I did. Crawl under here. Oh, another one of these. Ah, it looks like it's an intro to yet more dinosaur fun times. Avoid the mushrooms. I said avoid... boo earns. I see they're really throwing everything at us when it comes to this particular gimmick, because we've got quite a lot of fun stuff to deal with in this platforming challenge. And by fun, I mean, ooh, this is gonna be tough. Wow, that was some very bad job I did there. You know, he's knocking away all those mushrooms. I wonder if I can do that. Probably not. Nope. That's alright. I mean, again, it's not like we're going for 100%. The amount of deaths we take doesn't matter. There's no lives. Oh, shit. Recover. Get. Why didn't I go through that time? That... Was I just too far back, or what? Because remember, my depth perception in this is not good. I mean, it's already kind of not good in most things, but... It feels like it's been worse when I've been playing this. Okay, so I did notice something that time, which is that you can see Crash's drop shadow and, like, you know, in the shape of his body and everything on that dino head, but not the targeting shadow thing. And I was watching Crash's actual physical shadow, not the target ring. Unstunned, Crash. Get... Yeah, I just get stuck on the edge of that for some reason. So yeah, I was watching Crash's regular shadow. I kind of wish there was a way to turn that off. Like, okay, this game looks nice, but there are some concessions that could be made. Because usually I would think that targeting ring thing would be like where the actual shadow would be. I've played enough video games that I'm used to a character's shadow just being a ring and not this extra drop shadow that is shaped correctly. It is throwing me off so badly. Actually, come to think of it, I don't think I even saw the ring shadow there. Yeah, I'm not seeing the ring shadows on the dino heads. That's... How'd I get slowed down that much? Is that from just taking the dino hit? Also, speaking of which, so I haven't played Crash 3 in a minute, obviously, but I'm pretty sure that in the dino chases in Crash 3, if you get hit by the thing you're running away from, you'll lose a mask instead. Whereas here, you just die instantly. And in fact, I feel like there's just been a lot of things in this game that have been instant death through Aku Aku that would be just a regular hit in the regular game. You know, again, significantly more objective proof that they're actively making this game harder on purpose. Okay, good. Those guys can just be dealt with the regular way. Oh, God. I was going to say, if he makes that jump, I'm going to be mad as hell. That, I don't know if that would be regular instant death during that section, but for having an Aku Aku, but I feel like it wouldn't be. Ah, whatever. Oh, this is really, really uncomfortable. This is giving me so much nerves here. This is ridiculously tight. Like, this is to a point that's like unnecessary, really. What? Come on. Ugh. What do you mean? What do you mean? I actually, specifically, it feels like I didn't go through that all the way, so that's... Fuck. This should be categorized in the way too much category, because yeah, you're asking a truly like stupid amount out of me, game. Why am I not going through that all the way? Also, now I'm at a point where I'm gaining two masks right before this one, so that one's completely useless because it'll just time out. And again, it doesn't protect you from the death pits that are here, that are really what this mechanic needs to bring it together, in addition to these disgustingly tight slide requirements, like... Oh. Okay, I have no idea how I got away with that, but... Okay, I was going to say, surely that's worth a checkpoint, right, game? And then, of course, we get into a third dinosaur chase. The longest example of this in Crash 3 only had 2. And sure, at least one of them was multi-part, but it was still not that long. I bring this up not necessarily to remark on challenge, because really, I don't feel like this part is going to end up being all that hard. It's going to ultimately come down to, okay, yeah, that section with the thing where you had to slide under the platforms and then jump at the very end of your slide, like with almost no breathing room, like some kind of ROM hack, is going to end up being the part that I say is the hardest part of the level, because it is. It's just about the fact that this is obnoxiously long. There's enough material in here for 2, maybe even 3 levels at this point. Like, you're out of your mind, guys. There's also significantly more going on with the platforming in this than in Crash 3. And I'm going to say it, that this probably feels like an odd complaint, but I feel like there's just a lot less fun in any of the death animations and stuff in this game compared to Crash 3. Like, okay, the dinosaur just kept going. In Crash 3, the Triceratops just sort of, like, stands there when you die, and I think that there's something more likable about that, because it's like, here's more character to this thing. It's mocking you. Probably feels like a weird thing to say, but, like, also just in general, I feel that there's been a lot more instances of things that kill you where we don't get to see fun animations from any of the enemies. And that's a not small part of the Crash games, because, like, they are hard. You're going to die a lot in the original Crash games, too. It's not like this is... I mean, by exact quantities, yes, it is unprecedented. But, I mean, I'm not saying it should be easy, because it's a Crash game. It's not supposed to be easy. The entire franchise is quite difficult. Not this difficult up to this point, but still quite difficult. But it just feels like there's a lot less of that in particular going on, which, again, if you're gonna die a whole lot, they should make it into something that's, like, entertaining. I actually, several times after during my playing of Crash 3 and other games, died on purpose just to see some of the death animations, because there's just a lot of genuinely very, very fun bits to that. And then this one, it just doesn't feel like there's anywhere near as much.
Goodness, if it isn't Lani Loli. How are you, brother?
Sorry to interrupt, but existence could end at any minute, so can we hurry?
When's existence ever done anything for anyone anyway?
Oh, don't mind Grumpy Gus. He's old.
Okay, I think the deeper voice for...
Yeah, don't mind me.
The deeper voice for Ika Ika, I believe, is Fred Tatashore. Fred Tatashore.
What's next?
We can't close the rifts until we stop whatever's opening them.
That would be Entropy and his precious rift generator.
Sounds like it's time to kick some entropy butt.
But yeah, Ika Ika is a mask that reverses gravity, I think, on command. So that's something to look forward to for things that'll be really, really
May I assist?
difficult. Yeah, I mean, that's where most of our fun is coming from in this case, I would say, is our goofy skeleton costumes. I think if we finish this particular, like, little 3-level world here, that might be about how much we have time for the rest of the stream. I don't know. Oh, there he is. Wow.
Dingo dial?
Easy, chums. If I was here to fight, you'd be Cactus.
He's with me. Found him lost out there. Caught him up on the whole time-space, thing.
Yeah, just trying to get home. I was enjoying the retired life, see?
Got it. Our bad guys had to change a heart too.
Bad guy?
Silence, whelp. But sir, you try my patience, Oxide. But no, I'm sure this insect knows how to obey an order.
Entropy.
Take your ship to planet Bermugula and be on the lookout for ships approaching the Rift Generator. We can't afford any unwanted visitors.
At once, your foulness.
You manage our affairs with such poise.
Naturally, as do you. Ah.
Well, I see where this game falls when it comes to the matter of clone fucking.
Barf.
Oh, Dingodile. Dingodile is a pretty fun character, too, in terms of, like, characterization. Yeah, see, I told you. So let's see what kind of cooldown we can get on this thing. Looks like its length is determined a little bit by, like, when you press it on the ground. I'm not wording that correctly at all, but... Oh, buddy. Is this what we're doing now? I hate that stuff so much. That's like the most nerve-wracking thing in the entire franchise, is that type of jump. Which is really saying quite a bit. Oh. I have to press the jump button again to... That's not me! That's not on me! I don't know what happened there, but, Crash is not liking getting onto these. You ever shut off, dude? Or am I gonna have to, like, go for more of a plan of shock and awe here? Yeah, I was gonna say, notice if you can spin while you're doing the thing, but yeah, of course we have. I just forgot about it because it feels like it's... Hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh, this is making me very angry! Oh, by the way, hidden gem. Why not? Woo! Alright, finally something I can make sense out of. Ah.
Tractor view enabled.
Hey, get a load of this. Wait. I did that a little too soon. Oh, this is making me feel ill. You fool. I don't know why I thought I had to do that. Hey, get on the wall, crawler. There we go. What happened there and why? Why'd I just drop off? It's like, okay, we've had enough of your shit. Commit to one thing or die. Because, I mean, if so, I get it, but also that's incredibly rude. Otherwise, though, I mean, fun mechanics in this level when it's not being completely broken. I think I probably have to double tap, and I'm not doing that for some reason. And it's not like a controller ate the inputs kind of thing like that one time. It's just me being a buffoon. I hit that way too late. Well, we somehow managed to get away with that without taking a hit, so that's pretty good. Well, I just fumbled that because, oh, that's disorienting. Just to think about kind of hurts my head. Okay, good. That's a perfectly fine pity checkpoint. So I need to see what's going on here. And first I need to get rid of these boxes. But yeah, no, I have absolutely not found anybody who is interested in Greg Tech. Not that I've looked. I've just been setting up things for a 1710 just sync pack because yeah. Like I say, start simple. Oops. Wow, look at me press the button way too early. But I have some stuff. I have possible ideas for, like, I don't know if we want to balance out certain items for that sort of project. If we do, I can dump plans in the usual group chat, but I don't know. That's up to you. I care relatively little about how balanced things end up if it's going to be something that's primarily oriented around building. What? I wasn't thinking, that's all. Don't spin. Don't spin. We'll just plow through the crate automatically. Don't need to be a complete fool here. Okay, stay high. Right, yeah, and again, like, to me, I feel that we can start even kind of small and build if we, you know, build up to a larger group. If we try, you know. I guess part of it also depends on, is the thing that we like to do of building big, crazy, you know, is the big, crazy monuments idea even super fun to people? I don't know what people are into anymore. I'm playing a game that's 5 years old that I'm incredibly bad at, so. The hell do I know about anything? But right. I mean, ultimately, I think that the difference is, at least to me, in my IMO here, is that we would need a very large group practically from the start if we wanted to do, like, a hardballing progression pack, because getting people caught up on stuff like that is always kind of a pain in the ass. And it seemed like it was, like, an extra special if we wanted to do that with, well, with any of the Greg packs, but GTNH in particular. Whereas I do at least feel like we could get a foothold with, we could at least get a foothold with a kitchen sink kind of thing. And as long as it doesn't turn, as long as the community doesn't turn into, like, yeah, I know, right? How dare a person who actually is in that position say that word, right? Like, I think that there's a point where, you know, not in terms of, like, actual severity, but it's like getting upset at a black guy for saying the word, you know. Like, you know, I might be a little bit more willing to give them that sort of credence if they were, sorry, present company excluded. Wait, I think he left, but whatever. So yeah, what I'm the bit that I'm trying to get at here is like, okay, if you had said Spurglord, I would be a little bit more like, careful there, Buster. But, you know, even for somebody who has, well, at least sure seems to have that sort of area of things. But saying autist, like, okay, if you are, what the fuck am I gonna care about, right? Especially from me. But yeah, I am screwing this up tremendously. Ugh. I'm taking another death here just because I want both of my masks. I need to not fuck up with this dude. That's better. Right, like, exactly. Right, and even then, I think that's, like, through no fault of its own, or their own, rather, kind of thing, right? Like, that's just sort of like, hey, yeah, your brain is fucked up. Too bad. But again, I feel like there's a major tonal difference in being like that sort of thing versus, again, saying something like Spurglord. You know, you're not a... You're certainly not that... You don't act like a Chan board member is what I'm saying here. Anyway, enough of this discourse about, hey, here's a word that one is choosing to use to include oneself. This is a lot of space where we don't even have to use the gravity swap mask. That's odd that they just let us hang on to that forever. The thing with that also, of course, is that ADHD and autism are very similar to each other. Oh boy. That was incredibly mean, game, hiding the positioning of that crate behind the Wumpa fruit. Yeah, point is that if we wanted to do GTNH, we would need a bigger group of people who are, like, able to do that kind of logistics puzzles and enjoy it. And also, you know, already are interested, and for the other part, are willing to play a very old version of the game. I mean, despite the fact that there's people who are doing a lot of dev on mods in 1710, which has been a big help to me for, you know, putting some stuff in there that's a little bit more up to date. Like, I'm using the New Horizons version of NEI, and it works really good. It's a massive improvement in quality of life. Anyway, this level was way too long, but it had some good ideas, just like a lot of the levels in here. Yeah, but I think that there's a lot of people who are like, oh, well, I can't live without my whatever feature they enjoy that I don't know. Meanwhile, there's still quite a lot of stuff in 1710 that's quite good.
It looks like we're en route to the rift generator, but we'd be a lot faster in that. What the? Tana?
I'm not losing you guys in this dimension too. I'll handle it.
What is there that's like missing from 1710?
We're a team.
There's
What I miss?
a big thing that I think is kind of missing from 1710 is that I don't think I don't think Chisels and Bits is in that era. That's like one of the mods that I would really have loved to have had. Just because, I mean, Chisels and Bits is great for building some like high detail fun stuff. And hey, who doesn't like having the ability to do like really high detail stuff? Is it in 1710? I think I went looking for it and it's like, oh, by the way, it's not actually on one of these websites. So I guess, like, alternatively, the idea would be, hey, yeah, if that's a thing, then send me the file so that way I don't look like a complete goon by forgetting to it's not, well, dang. Oh well. It was worth having 2 sets of eyes. Oh, right. Oh, this close in camera too. This is, and oh no, I didn't take a hit. I thought I did there because of the mask despawning. The superpower mask. Whoa! Look out. Okay, this is safe. There's an okay, Little Tiles is... Yes, Little Tiles is pretty okay, if I recall correctly. Like, I don't think it does perfectly all the things you would want out of Bissels and Shits, but, I mean... It's still... Did I fuck up here? I think I fucked up there. Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest with you, I forgot to even look for Little Tiles. So, knowing that that's there, that's pretty good. I could put that in and have the configs all set up. I am pretty much... my finger twitched there. Whoops. So, I'm pretty close to done with resetting all those ResRise configs. I think what's going to end up happening is going to be that I just tell you to install the loaders on an instance in Prism Launcher and send you over the mods and stuff. So that way I don't have to be like, oh yeah, I got to go through all the stuff that I updated in my warpath to make sure that Rotary Craft actually worked. Here we go. Now we've got a couple of, got some fun stuff going on here, I think. Been like 0 sold in the last year plus. Well, hot damn. And it seemed like I got it for what seemed like a really good deal compared to what I had been seeing on Solaris Japan at the time. So, I mean... You know, good times twice over, right? Pity it doesn't seem to be much of a thing anymore because it still seems to be quite good. And I'm not sure what I could possibly be like, oh yeah, this doesn't do this type of input until something new comes along. Like surely the PS5 and stuff still have HDMI out and whatever, right? Oh Christ, that's overkill. I'm still not even in the frame of mind for thinking about 4K. That's a pity. But yeah, at bare minimum, Lears, I'm at least gonna hold on to the MC stuff, even if it's like, well, and I'll stuff it on a side hard drive and be like, well, hey, in like 8 months and 10 days or whatever, give or take, when you think about it again, and I'll just be like, well, I've still got files. We can try. Hey, holy shit, I beat a level without dying 3 times or more. That's incredible. I'm not going to say that makes that level better, but that wasn't a bad level. The ideas were there. And it had an econo section that didn't make me want to strangle myself, so, like, I think credit is due and well-deserved for that. Also, we're gonna fight the Entropy twins here after this, aren't we? Not Oxide? Is that what I'm guessing by the fact that they're actually showing up on the map? Oh, is it having tech issues? Oh, that's unfortunate. I know that, like, the sheer amount of them was kind of, but yeah, I mean, the 50 series was out before the tariffs hit anyway, so, or before they were even announced as to what they were going to be. I don't want to say, oh, before he even announced the tariffs. I got to be careful about wording that, because he literally said multiple times on the trail, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tariff everything that comes out of China and all these other places, because that'll fix the economy when we have no production basically in this entire country. Certainly not for those things. And on top of that, we don't have the resources in the first place. Like, so a big thing that's come out of the tariffs is that China's retaliation has included that they're going to bar the US from importing their rare earth metals. Now, rare earth metals are not that rare, realistically speaking. The problem is that rare earth metals are not in, like, large, they're not in very large deposits. There we go. I was like, large density, and my brain was just kind of like, just kind of derped the fuck out. But, so anyway, yeah, that's part of the reason why that's actually like a big impetus, big stumbling block, even aside from our lack of production infrastructure. Even if we could just produce all this stuff at home, where are we going to get them? Because we don't really have a particularly good mine for just rare earth minerals. There's a little bit of it, like, everywhere in terms of the soil, but that's not really the best way of getting any particular thing, right? Going and sitting there with a, you know, like, massive amounts of dirt and just, like, sieving it down and being like, oh yeah, I got like a kilo of neodymium out of 700 pounds of dirt or whatever. I'm making these numbers up out of my ass, but it's not really a very effective way to do things, to put it nicely. Meanwhile, in China and that area of the world, there are actual, like, decent quality deposits of rare earth minerals and that's why they're able to do that stuff a little better, is because that stuff is closer to home. So, yeah, anyway. he fucked around and now we're finding out. But yeah, yeah, this is, again, without getting into all of the other overhead of, like, actually getting a factory built, and if there were decent loads of rare earths that we could dig up and deal with. Basically, it's what you would politely call a shit show. But I suppose that all I can say in a situation like this is good luck getting hold of a graphics card that works halfway decently. I'm still using my 1080 Ti, and it still does what I need it to, so I can still give a wholehearted recommendation for that if that's good enough for you. It might not be. I know you like your significantly more hardcore graphics, but it seems to be a robust solution with a good shelf life, you know? But yeah, there's also that too with regard to the tariffs thing. We know, like, there have been there's evidence, I suppose would be a better way of putting it. There is evidence that some Republican politicians have been doing a little bit of what I believe one would technically consider to be insider trading on the basis of the tariffs. Is that when the markets all crashed because he announced apocalyptic tariffs that understandably would make business people a little bit cagey about their prospects, at least some of them, Marjorie Taylor Greene among them, and we know that because she fucking posted about it on Twitter, which, you know, maybe don't post about those kind of things out in public. That seems like not a smart option, but I have never been an insider trading person, so, yeah. Don't call me an expert, is what I'm saying here, in the strangest possible sentence that I could come up with. Is don't call me an expert on what to do in the case of insider trading, because I don't know. But, so yeah, that is a thing that they are doing, is that a lot of people are like, oh, well, he blinked. It's not calling it, don't call it he blinked, because he didn't. It's a scheme, and obviously, yes, there is the part where they can just do whatever, because laws aren't real unless they're enforced. And in fact, if you have the enforcement, you don't even necessarily need a law. I mean, something, look at the people they're disappearing to El Salvador. You know, sincere apologies to anybody who didn't want this stream to get too heavy, but, you know. It's just like, hey, yeah, there... Well, if I do get, like, mysteriously disappeared to El Salvador, then that'll be very unfortunate. But at that point, I will have nothing left to lose, I feel. But I digress. That's a whole other thing that, like, you probably should really say less of that, because... Anyway. I didn't even see that we had a mask, and I didn't see what I got hit by. That was fun. That's right. I'm a woke DEI, whatever other words they say for stuff like that. Which, like, I'm getting to a point where I feel like I'd respect these bozos more if they just said the fucking N-word, you know? Okay, I see the starfish now. Oh, that one snaps at you no matter what. That is a tight space we have to deal with. Ugh. Yes, yes, make your own jokes about tight spaces and dealing with them. Game, y'all got any more than pity checkpoints after this bit with the turtles? Oh, Clam City. My joke is well and truly inserted. Wait. But bump. Ooh, down I go. This is falling apart pretty fast. It is keeping its structural integrity not well. It's keeping its structural integrity about as well as the thermocouple on my panini press today. And then I smoked out the entire house by accident because why would I expect that thing to just break down suddenly like that? At this point, I'm just gonna start learning to start fires and cook things without technology. Does starting fires count as technology? Surely not. That's like... Unless you use like a flint and steel or something, or any other sort of fire starter. No, me saying the phrase flint and steel is not a meme about that Minecraft movie. Because apparently that's just caught on, and I don't have any context for it because I barely watch films to begin with. Like, I own probably less than 10 films on DVD. And maybe a couple more on VHS. I got a couple other video things. Like, on top of that, there's only, like, I can only think of, like, 2 more films or anything that I'd love to get copies of that I know for sure, which are The Holy Mountain and Liquid Sky. And I've seen Liquid Sky. I haven't seen Holy Mountain, but I know enough about the Holy Mountain to know, yeah, I've got to see that sometime. That sounds messed up. Maybe Enter the Void also. That one sounds pretty cool. God, how many times did we die right near the end? That's embarrassing. Frequency. I'll have to check that out at some point. If I remember. Come to think of it, yeah, Videodrome would be a good one to get too. I've seen Videodrome. I don't own a copy of Videodrome, but it wouldn't be a bad one to have on having the set. Now that I think about it. But yeah, that just like memeing on Jack Black mentioning the flint and steel apparently has just been like a thing that people have done with regard to that extremely not great Minecraft movie. That's all I can say about that is I have no real comment actually. Never mind. But yeah, you say rubbing two sticks together counts as technology. Well, it certainly counts as a technique because that, I believe, you got to be a lot more specific than they make it sound. There's some sort of like trick to it, and I forget how it works, but I don't go outside, so the odds of me needing to do that outside are usually pretty rare.
Last time I killed her friends, her screams were exquisite.
Delicious.
No!
Let's make this fun. Give them a sporting chance.
Ooh.
Okay, I remember this boss fight from Crash 3. It's actually, I have no idea what this fight is going to be like whatsoever. Except that we're fighting two of them for some reason. What if we just, like, had to tag back and forth between characters in the fight? That'd be interesting. Oh, this is funky. So we've got the weird blue bunches of stuff. The replacements for the Wumpa fruits in the inverted levels. And I can see that they're doing some, like, more interesting art style stuff here. Now, my question is, am I going to need to pick these up? I may as well, right?
In my universe, bandicoots are considered pests, as fit for extermination as a housefly.
Oh, how modern. Tell me more.
Some keep them as pets, but I find it disgusting. I much prefer
Yes. So elegant, spiders.
Shit. Ah, crud. Now this... Things are heating up a little bit. But I guess the mechanics here are that this is going to just be like a sort of a mask final exam. Funnily enough, that kind of ends up... Oh, darn. That kind of makes it a little bit like the final boss of Wrath of Cortex, but backwards, because in that game, it's the enemies that are using the masks, and in this one, it's you! Ugh. I overdid it there. Oh, shit. Oh, we're on the edge of our seats and on the edge of the screen here. Whoa. Getting pretty tight.
how our lost puppy's found its way home.
Let's put them down. Activate the security lasers. Wretched girl. Feels like we've done this before.
This sort of has like a little bit of the vibes, by the way, the music of... It's kind of like a remix of Entropy's original boss theme. Wouldn't be the first time in the franchise that they've had like a half remix of that particular piece of music. All right. So, I was gonna say, what's our trick here? And it's, don't jump into that thing, because don't assume that it's going to be the same pattern over and over. Oh boy. Okay, so this... Okay, if I'm starting to get the thing here, and now that I know that I can move that much further ahead of Entropy. Whoa! Oh god.
I'll squash this bug.
Shit. All right. But remember, that first one's up at the top, because surely I'm going to need another restart at this rate. Oh, thank goodness. That actually was the end. I was expecting that to go on much longer. Well, that wasn't a bad fight at all. It just needed to know the mechanics a little better, I guess. Know what I was dealing with. As Crash is doing the classic dance.
What's the matter? Unable to handle even the simplest of tasks? I no longer have need for our... alliance.
Thank you, Dingodile.
Let's plug up these holes.
Boy, not that it ain't been fun, but about my ticket home.
Right. Now that we've mended things, we can take you anywhere. Anywhen. After we rest. For now, I can only get us as far as the culinary capital of the universe. Neon City.
Meanwhile, everybody wants a lunch break. Well, sounds about right to me.
Nachos.
You don't even have a digestive system, buddy. Doesn't even have a tongue. Can that mask taste anything? I'm definitely asking the wrong questions here. Alright, gang. Well, I have been streaming for about 3 hours. I started a little late today, but yeah, so that is going to do it for today. I have a feeling that we might be able to finish this on Monday or possibly Tuesday. But yeah, we'll get there when we get there.